Okay, so let's talk about process. Every agency tweaks the process slightly, but the basics of what you need for an SES application is an SES resume, ECQs, Executive Core Qualifications, and technical quals. Sometimes those technical quals are called professional technical quals. Sometimes they're called mandatory technical quals. It doesn't matter what you call them. They're basically tech quals. Now, there are three basic approaches to the SES application. The first is what's called a full package. This is a SES resume, your 10-page ECQs, and your separate technical quals. So these packages, depending upon how many TQs there are, they could easily be 20 pages. Your SES resume is typically 5 pages, your 10 pages of ECQs, and if your tech quals are, 2 pages each, and there's 3 of them, if my math serves me, you're over 20 pages right there. And I would say about 50% of FEMA jobs are requiring a traditional package. Now, some of FEMA's postings and some for other agencies like HHS, Health and Human Services, the Department of Energy, they are requiring what's called a 5-page all-inclusive resume. A lot of people call me and say, ooh, I want this because I don't have to write ECQs. I think the 5-page is sort of like bait and switch. You don't have to write ECQs to apply, but you have to write ECQs once you are selected. So the 5-page all-inclusive is not your get-out-of-jail card free. And your 5-page all-inclusive must demonstrate evidence of your possession of the executive core quals and your possession of the technical quals. Everything's got to be smushed into 5 pages. And so this 5-page resume needs to be leadership focused, not technically focused. I see a lot of 5-page resumes that are really just technically focused. And if your resume is just technically focused, then I can't see any leadership and you're not going to get through the screen. So generally, there's 120 days from soup to nuts. So depending on how long it takes an agency to make a decision is how long you have to submit ECQs. This could be as short as 2 weeks if the agency dawdles, or in a perfect world, it's longer. I would argue that if you've got nothing, 2 weeks is aggressive. And then other agencies do 5 pages plus a separate technical write-up, TQ write-up. So there's lots of variations, and it is critical that you read the announcement carefully. Again, I get people all the time, I need my ECQs because I want to apply for this job, and I look at the posting and I'm like, there's no ECQs required here, right? Not until you're selected. But if you are seriously interested in the SES, it is good to have a set of ECQs drafted. So let's talk process. So when you put your SES package together, there are 3 audiences here. Audience number 1 is HR. And when you apply for the SES, you go not to your regular staffing people, but you go to executive resources at FEMA. They are reviewing for basic qualifications. What does that mean? They look to make sure that you've included anything that is required. They look to make sure you have the technical requirements. Let's say if it's an accounting job, that you have 24 hours of accounting or what have you. They review everybody who applies, and they put together the list of everyone who meets basic quals, and then they send those resumes to what's called the Executive Resources Board, or ERB. The Executive Resources Board is 3 existing SESs within FEMA. They review your resume, or if you have written separate technical quals and ECQs as well, they review all of your documents and put together the best qualified list. And then that best qualified list goes to the hiring manager, who makes a selection. But that selection is tentative only. And your ECQs and resume must then go to OPM for clearance by what is called a Qualifications Review Board. A Qualifications Review Board is 3 random SESs from throughout government, none of whom may be from DHS, let alone FEMA, and they are reviewing your ECQs and resume only to determine whether or not you possess and demonstrate the requisite leadership requirements. The QRB flunks 60 to 70% of people whose packages come before them. Let me repeat that. The QRB flunks 60 to 70% of packages that come before them. Many applicants think, oh, I was picked by the agency, so life is good. That is not a true statement, right? When you're picked for by the agency, you still have to get past OPM.